with his father and two maiden sisters. The family first settled in New York, but afterwards made their way to Kentucky and established themselves almost in hermit fashion on the banks of the Mississippi, near where Mill's Pond now makes into the river. Here old Mr. Rodman died in the fall of 1790, and in the ensuing winter both his daughters perished of the smallpox within a few weeks of each other. Shortly afterwards, in the spring of 1791, Mr. Julius Rodman, the son, set out upon the expedition which forms the subject of the following pages. Returning from this in 1794, as hereinafter stated, he took up his abode near Abingdon, in Virginia, where he married and had 3 children, and where most of his descendants now live. We are informed by Mr. James Rodman that his grandfather had merely kept an outline diary of his tour during the many difficulties of its progress, and that the manuscripts with which we have been furnished were not written out in detail from that diary until many years afterwards, when the tourist was induced to undertake the task, at the instigation of M. André Michaux, the botanist, and author of the Flora Boreale Americana, and of the Histoire des Chaînes d'Amérique. M. Michaux, it will be remembered, had made an offer of his services to Mr. Jefferson when that statesman first contemplated sending an expedition across the Rocky Mountains. He was engaged to prosecute the journey, and had even proceeded on his way as far as Kentucky, when he was overtaken by an order from the French minister, then at Philadelphia, requiring him to relinquish the design, and to pursue elsewhere the botanical inquiries on which he was employed by his government. The contemplated undertaking then fell into the hands of Messrs. Lewis and Clark, by whom it was successfully accomplished. The manuscripts, when completed, however, never reached M. Michaux, for whose inspection it had been drawn up, and was always supposed to have been lost on the road by the young man to whom it was entrusted for delivery at M.M.'s temporary residence near Monticello. Scarcely any attempt was made to recover the papers, Mr. Rodman's peculiar disposition leading him to take but little interest in the search. Indeed, strange as it may appear, we doubt from what we are told of him whether he would have ever taken any steps to make public the results of his most extraordinary tour. We think that his only object in retouching his original diary was to oblige M. Michaux. Even Mr. Jefferson's exploring project, a project which, at the time it was broached, excited almost universal comment, and was considered a perfect novelty, drew from the hero of our narrative only a few general observations addressed to members of his family. He never made his own journey a subject of conversation, seeming rather to avoid the topic. He died before the return of Lewis and Clark, and the diary, which had been given into the hands of the messenger for delivery to M. Michaux, was found about 3 months ago in a secret drawer of a bureau which had belonged to Mr. Julius R. We do not learn by whom it was placed there. Mr. R.'s relatives all exonerate him from the suspicion of having secreted it. But without intending any disrespect to the memory of that gentleman, or to Mr. James Rodman, to whom we feel under a special obligation, we cannot help thinking that the supposition of the narrator's having by some means re-procured the package from the messenger, and concealed it where it was discovered, is very reasonable, and not at all out of keeping with the character of that morbid sensibility which distinguished the individual. We do not wish by any means to alter the manner of Mr. Rodman's narration, and have therefore taken very few liberties with the manuscript, and these few only in the way of abridgment. The style, indeed, could scarcely be improved. It is simple and very effective, giving evidence of the deep delight with which the traveller revelled in the majestic novelties through which he passed day after day. There is a species of affectionateness which pervade his account, even of the severest hardships and dangers, which lets us at once into the man's